Has this week felt really intense to you? It's astrology time! Let's look at what's going on for the week ahead. We start the week off with the moon in Sagittarius. We've had the sun and Mars there for a couple weeks now. And as the moon moves closer to the sun, we will have a new moon in Sagittarius on Tuesday, right before Mercury goes retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. Now, with all this Sag energy mixed with Venus being in Scorpio, adding tension to Sagittarius's ruler, Jupiter, that's currently moving through Taurus and in retrograde, things have felt really intense. There's been a big theme of release, with the South Node being in Libra, release of people in our life, relationships, old values, outdated belief system, outdated or old philosophies of life. We've done a lot of growing and healing, especially in terms of our identity the past few years with Chiron being in Aries. And as Chiron moves closer to the North Node, this is going to be amplified. It's also going to be amplified this week as we'll have Mars making a harmonious aspect to Chiron and Aries, really prompting us to move forward on this healing and take the inspired action that maybe has been bubbling underneath the surface of like what we want to do and how we want to move forward in terms of releasing the old from our life. Really being firm with our boundaries and what behavior we're not willing to put up with anymore. Which brings us back to Venus in Scorpio. Libra's ruler, Venus, in Scorpio is calling for us to really transform our values, our money, our relationship with all those things, and our literal relationships, friendships, romantic interests, etc. Where this is showing up for you the most is going to depend on your chart and where you have these signs in it, because that's where these planets are currently moving through the house or the area of life you have these signs ruling. But generally, it's prompting a big theme of release, change, growth, transformation, which can show up as intensity, especially the emotional kind, as we'll have the moon moving through Sag on Monday and Tuesday. And like I said earlier, the new moon in Sag on Tuesday. This Mercury retrograde that starts on Tuesday at night or really early on Wednesday morning, depending on where you are in the world, is really going to bring a lot of change to our structure, the systems we have in place in our lives, the foundations in a mental way, really reframing all of those things. Like if you have been feeling annoyance in terms of like your foundation, your home, your business, or like how you're making money, it's calling for you to really reframe it and look at it differently so that you can either accept it and move forward or change it. On Wednesday and Thursday, we'll have the moon moving through Capricorn, just amplifying this energy. And when the moon moves over Pluto, things might get a little intense, especially as it relates to the transformations and changes we're making, because the moon will be making a challenging aspect to Chiron and Aries, as well as the North Node, really calling for us to accept and embrace those conflicts and challenges as necessary growth or change. On Friday, we have the moon moving over Pluto, amplifying this before it moves into Aquarius. Also on Friday, we have Mars making a harmonious aspect to Chiron that I talked about earlier. This week is really all about integrating and embodying the healing that you've done. And how do you want to move forward with that healing and that new version of yourself that you are? I mean, Saturn is in Pisces. I've been talking about this all year, basically. You are really being called right now to commit and discipline yourself to your dream, to make it a reality. There's no such thing as overnight success. You have to put in the work daily to see results. So don't get discouraged or give up. Like the miracle happens right after you want to give up. So just keep pushing forward. And that vision that you have is coming true as long as you don't give up on it. Things might feel a little foggy this weekend as we have the sun making a challenging aspect to Neptune and the moon making a challenging aspect to Venus. Both of those on Saturday. Saturday might feel a little intense. It might feel a little illusioned, like foggy. We might be tired. We might be experiencing challenges in our relationships emotionally. Having a grounded spiritual practice is really going to help. And maybe taking some extra time to be alone for self-care. That might also linger a little bit on Sunday as we'll have the moon moving from Aquarius into Pisces, where it will sit on Saturn, again, asking you to take an emotional look at the way you're disciplined and committed to making your dream a reality. How's this showing up for you? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next week.